Kourtney Kardashian told Travis Barker not to look at her private parts when she gave birth, as seen in The Kardashians. The reality star, 45, told her rocker husband not to look after he had mentioned he was looking forward to witnessing his first natural birth. Kourtney also revealed during the episode that his favorite thing in the world was her vagina. The very candid detail was divulged in the latest episode of the reality show that featured Kourtney having contractions ahead of her going into labor and giving birth. Kourtney gave birth to son Rocky 13 on Wednesday, November 1. In the episode, Kourtney starts having contractions, with Travis noting he was looking forward to seeing his first natural birth. Kourtney asks if he is excited, and he says I'm just a little frightened. "You're not gonna look at my vagina," Kourtney told him. "I'm gonna be right there. I'm gonna catch him," Travis tells her. "You really can't be there." "I mean, you can, but I don't want to," she said. "You don't want me to see her," referring to her vagina, "like that?" Travis asked her. "To be traumatized by your favorite thing in the world," referring to her vagina, she said. "Yay, I get," the Blink-182 star then said. Kourtney's labor stretched over nearly 4 days, with the process interrupted by trips back home for her and Travis to go have sex. The lovebirds were hoping for their son to be born on October 31, Halloween, but he came a minute too late. Her labor started on October 29, 2023 when Travis and Kourtney were looking at pictures of themselves of his phone in bed, with Kourtney revealing she was having a contraction. "My baby's about to pop," Travis exclaimed. Both parents guessed that Rocky would weigh exactly 8 pounds. Then Kourtney looked back to a traumatic event months earlier when doctors had discovered fluid in Rocky's lungs, which was super rare, but they were lucky to have caught it. Kourtney filmed herself on her phone from her hospital bed and admitted she was filled with fear after the surgery. Things seemed to take a downturn when the fluid returned to Rocky's lungs. But then Kourtney saw a video on the power of positive thinking, and after she tried to focus on optimistic thoughts, she claimed that the fluid had completely disappeared. "It's time to go," she whispered then as she prepared to birth Rocky. A nurse attending to her said she was 1 to 2 centimeters dilated and had some bleeding, which didn't concern her. But then it was 10 in the morning on October 30, and Kourtney revealed that she had gotten up to 3 centimeters dilated by 4 a.m., but there was no progress after that. She was seen bouncing on a big rubber ball in her hospital gown and moving in circles to stimulate the labor while talking on the phone with her family. Kourtney even wondered if she should cool it with the ball exercises, as she really wanted Rocky to wait until Halloween. "You better squeeze him out, baby's gonna be 10 pounds, Travis joked as the morning progressed. They decided to leave the hospital while things were stalled, but first they left to eat at Crossroads. Once they were home, Kourtney revealed that they showered and then had sex. That helps sometimes, she said with a sly smile. Finally, it was October 31, and Travis told Kourtney that Rocky thinks today is the day. But he had second thoughts on the way back to the hospital. "We said it too much that his birthday was gonna be on Halloween," Travis mused on the ride over. The Blink-182 member had an odd way of calming his nerves while he waited for Kourtney to go into labor. He had brought along his drum practice pad and began banging out rudiments at the same tempo as Rocky's heartbeat. Many women in labor might have found the din unbearably annoying, but Kourtney was on the same page as her husband. She said she found the drumming soothing, and she said Travis' practice had helped her fall asleep in the past. Before Rocky arrived, she reflected that they were too afraid to feel it after she got pregnant because they worried it was too good to be true, especially after they had given up on IVF treatments. While she was on her side in her hospital bed and being attended to by a nurse, a faint splashing sound was heard on the soundtrack, and Kourtney said she finally broke her water, indicating that Rocky was arriving soon. Kourtney had planned for Travis to be the only family member with her in the delivery room, but her plans had a major shake-up after a surprise guest arrived, her mother Kris. Despite gate-crashing the birth, Kris tried to be innocuous by sitting on the other side of the room while masked up and looking at her phone. In her confessional interview, Kourtney revealed that she got a surprise call from her security that her mother had arrived at the hospital and wanted to join her. Kris told the guard she was just in the area, so she decided to drop in on the birth. She was not in the area, Kourtney grumbled, although she didn't have the heart to ban her mother from getting to see her grandson be born. As she waited for the big moment after reaching 4 centimeters dilation, Kourtney confessed to Travis that she had been craving some Ritz Bits crackers since the day before. As it got closer and closer to midnight, Kourtney admitted, "I think Rocky wants to be November 1st. Travis agreed, "Yeah, he doesn't want to be the king of Halloween," but there was still a slim chance after her doctor decided to induce her at 11:45 p.m. Kourtney was surprised when Travis, who had been playing music in the hospital room all night, switched to exclusively Frank Sinatra as Rocky's arrival was imminent. Despite her best efforts, Kourtney gave birth just 1 minute too late for the baby to be the Halloween king, and Rocky 13 Barker entered the world at 12 o'clock a.m. on November 1st. After the lengthy birthing process and the joyous moment of meeting Rocky, Kris comforted her daughter in her inimitable way. "Do you want a Cheez-It or whatever you call them?" she asked her daughter. But Kourtney admitted later that she was glad her mother was there, as Kris had a calming effect over the proceedings. Later, during her confessional interview, Kourtney paused to FaceTime Travis, and he gushed that Rocky's birth was one of the best days of his life. He added that he wanted to watch the show's footage of the birth. "I want to know what song he popped out to," Travis explained. They determined the song was Sinatra's performance of That's Life, the title track of his classic 1966 LP. "The song just came up in the playlist and we were like, what a perfect song," Kourtney recalled. As Travis sat in the hospital bed and cuddled little Rocky, Kourtney beamed with love for him after the fact during her interview. "I have the most amazing and supportive husband I could ever dream of," she said sweetly. She gave thanks, adding that the way that it all happened is just such a reminder that God's timing is everything.